hold on. Friend of the show, Lucha Doncic, been on several times. What's up, my dude? How you doing?
What's happening? What's happening? How we living?
First of all, thank you for coming on. Second of all, happy birthday, my brother. Today is like a legit birthday, right? Today?
Yes, sir. 33.
33. Fuck, dude. Your back's going to start hurting in 2 years.
My knees gave out a couple years ago. We already on the road. Swig of coffee for knees. Yeah, I'm stealing again.
Swig of coffee. Lucha brought his own swig of coffee. Oh, yeah. Hold on. Io makes a good point. TNAIW.
Legend.
Lucha, the legend of a TNAIW.
Shout out to Jeff.
Shout out Jeff talking nonsense about Impact Wrestling. So that show's kind of off the air. I thought you guys were coming back and gonna do like a reunion tour. What happened with all that?
Man, Jeff being the greatest man in New York got a whole lot of shit going on, so he didn't really have time for it. You know, I barely had time myself. So like we'll hop in and out if the masses want us to.
Yeah. Okay. Cool, man. Well, I hope you guys like every once in a while, because I thought you guys had a fun thing going. And Jeff was always really good about he put a lot of effort into the production of the show and all the gadgets and all the bells and the whistles, and I was like always admired him for that, for what he did, because I do some like basic bitch ass stuff on my show. Like I don't really I just come on here and like rant and talk bullshit, but I thought Jeff always went above and beyond with the production of his stuff. So big shout out, Jeff. He helped me out a lot whenever I was kind of like getting my start. So I'll always appreciate that, dude. But hold on, I'm gonna bring somebody on real quick. We have another special guest. I'm gonna bring him on. Then I'm gonna let him go. But Nonso, what's up, dude? What's up, Nonso?
What's going on, everyone?
Oh shit, what's happening?
Lucha.
Yeah.
We haven't spoken to each other since Hard to Kill last year.
Right.
Dang. How's it going, brother?
We good. We outside chilling.
That's good, man. Hey, Mike, we have to do like a podcast with everyone on the BFI chat sometimes, man.
Yeah, man. I especially on like a slow news week, I might as well just like use you guys to come on. That way I'm not up here dying.
Look, next time they do a best of episode, we should be able to throw that together.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Yeah. What's happening? What are we talking about?
Well, Lucha is about. Well, we were just saying happy birthday to Lucha. If you want to just throw down a.
Oh, my bad, Lucha, my bad. Happy birthday, man.
Appreciate
happy birthday, brother.
Yeah, Lucha's gonna tell us what happened on this week's Xplosion. So, what happened on Xplosion, man?
All right, so check it out. We had Tasha Steelz versus what's her name, Rhiannon Jade, I believe. I have no clue who she is, but when she came out, she got a pop.
She's probably, which means she's probably local.
Nah, she's from the. I think they say she was from England.
Oh, okay. Well,
wait,
England then.
Which made me think, though, isn't what happened to the other chick from the UK, Harley Jade?
Who?
Yeah, I know.
I think she was the one that won Gut Check with Leon Slater.
Right.
Lucha, Nonso. Hey, Leon Slater didn't win Gut Check. He was just signed because he's fucking awesome. The guy that won Gut Check was a guy from like Belgium or some shit named Mike D. But the Harley girl won the Gut Check. Let me tell you guys something about Gut Check. I confirmed this with BQ. Gut Check is fake. Those people were never signed. Harley might come in, but she's it's been a year. That contest happened a year ago.
It was
in November. Harley Hudson. Yeah, Harley Hudson. Visa issue? ? No, she was never signed.
Wow.
They might bring her in. I'm not saying they won't bring her in, but like Mike D was never coming in. Like he never even agreed to come in, but he won the contest.
Let me find out Gut Check is a bigger scam than Christian McCaffrey.
Hey, first of all, Christian McCaffrey won Offensive NFL Player of the Year last year. My brother's just taking this half a year off because he was a little bit gassed in the Super Bowl and we needed him most. So he'll be back. He'll be all right.
You gonna take a break right after you got the bag? That sounds a little crazy.
That sounds like every fucking NFL player I've ever known. Like Brandon Ayuk got 30 mil and he hadn't done shit. So that's just the way it goes.
That's just a good place for the Niners. I can't say shit. I'm a Panthers fan, so I'll shut up.
All right, so Tasha Steelz won against Allie Katch's twin sister.
Alley throw.
So how at least how was the match?
I mean, nothing crazy to write home about. Rhiannon J, she had this crazy neck breaker in the corner that I kind of fucked with a little bit, but it was nothing to write home about. It was about a good C plus match.
Gotcha.
Okay. What else happened on Xplosion?
Leon Slater went around the ring with Gia Miller. I did not watch it.
Okay.
I couldn't tell you what the number one Don West, you got to be kidding me moment was. It was probably Speedball and Vikingo, honestly, that announcement.
Okay. Gotcha.
And then we had, how did I go blank? We had John Gresham and John Schuyler in the main event with Josh Alexander coming through to scout Gresham before their match on Thursday.
Oh, so they're actually doing stuff that ties into the show that we'll actually watch.
Yeah, they're starting to do that a little bit more, and I really appreciate that.
Yeah, they did that like last week for the Xplosion show because I know Macklin had a match with one of the what's the name of that tag team? What's the name of that tag team under Josh?
Sinner and Saint.
Yeah.
So he had a match with both of them 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
So he had Tracy Williams 1 week, and then Judas in my mind another week.
Right.
So I don't know which is which. I'm sure they're very different people. But hold on, since we talked about Judas Icarus, since we talked about it.
You are beautiful on the inside. You are innocent personified. And I will drag you down and sell you out. Run away.
All right, I'm sorry. I had to.
You couldn't have played.
Lucha covered his face.
Couldn't have played the Cody joint.
Oh, I got the Cody joint. Hold on. Let's hear My Kingdom. Since it's Lucha Doncic's birthday, let's hear My Kingdom.
Generally, I saw every fight out of control. Do it all to get them off their feet.
Yeah, this shit actually ain't bad. This
right?
Crowd is here.
I can't hear anything, man.
Waiting for me to start the show. Out the curtain, lights go up. I'm home.
Wait till the chorus kicks in.
And my father said when I was younger, hard times prepare a man. Take it all away, I give it all away. Can't take my freedom. Here to change the game, a banner made of pain. I built my kingdom now.
All right. that shit actually ain't bad, dude.
Shout out to African American Nightmare Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, man. He's definitely invited to the barbecue. Sweet coffee for Cody.
Our civil rights leader, Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, what is Scotty call him in our chat? Cody Luther King. Yeah, so
heel and go Cody X.
Yeah, so 2 weeks in a row, Macklin was facing Sinner and Saint in singles matches, and then now we got Jonathan Gresham versus John Schuyler this week with Josh Alexander scouting him. Because Gresham and Alexander, they're gonna wrestle soon. Is that gonna be a loser leaves town match or a winner leaves town?
Loser leaves town last.
Yeah.
Loser leaves town last. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. So that's gonna be on television, right? That's not gonna be on Xplosion, their match.
And Gresham tapped out Schuyler rather out of nowhere. That's the thing about John Gresham matches is like if he wins by submission 8 times out of 10, they're literally out of nowhere. It's like what the fuck?
Well, and that's why I like him. And I just never understood why TNA just didn't know how to use him. Because I think he like using him is very simple. You just have him go out there and just put on some bangers and wrestle in like unique ways. And we were talking about it in the chat a couple of days ago when the news came out that Gresham was likely on his way out, that his contract was coming due in January. That I was actually going to present a booking idea on this show for Gresham because I think about shit like that sometimes. And I think it would have been awesome if Gresham were to win the international title and then make that a truly international title, and he could defend it against international talents. And he's just like a special attraction on the show. We don't need to have him have a bunch of storylines. He can do like small, subtle storylines, but he could just be the guy on all the pay-per-views and all the Impact Plus or TNA Plus specials. Just like say like on Victory Road, for instance, like in the middle of the show, you just have a 15-minute Jonathan Gresham versus insert a Japanese wrestler, insert, Katsuhiko Nakajima or something. I'm just throwing a name out there.
Yeah.
Or you bring in somebody from AAA, maybe not Vikingo, but just bring in like another dude from AAA, and then just have him work a lucha match 1 month, have him work a New Japan or a strong style match 1 month, and then bring in somebody from like the UK that's like catch wrestling style, have him do that 1 month. You know what I mean? Just like have him just do that, and that could be the story. And then he could even lose the title because it's not a big deal. It's not a big title. And then the part of the storyline is that he wins it back. You know what I mean?
That's all.
Xplosion with that.
Yeah, that's all a good idea. This is so simple, man. I don't get it, bro. I don't get the booking team sometimes. Like, this is such a very simple concept. Like, there are no resources spent if this happens. So it gets everyone going. I mean, look at Laredo Kid. Laredo Kid doesn't have a lot going on. Okay, fine, you don't put the title on Gresham, but at least put it on Laredo. Laredo takes that stuff to Mexico and defends the title in Mexico.
Yeah.
Like, these are very simple concepts that, for some weird reason, it's so tough to implement this concept. We go over the top. I mean, it makes no sense having PCO. It makes no sense for PCO having both the international title and the DMC title, both titles which do not make any sense to be together. He has that on. I'm still trying to scratch my head as to, like, why do we still keep moving forward with this? So,
well,
it's such a simple concept. Sorry, man.
Well, and we're in October now, and PCO won the title in July, and has 0 title defenses.
No, he has one last week.
Oh, that is true. He defended against Rhino, right, 2 nights ago.
Yeah. Now, I'm a quickly. I ain't gonna throw the cape on, but I got the cape, right?
Okay.
Right. Now, for the longest, I've been riding for the DMC because I was like, it's just the natural evolution of the television title. TV ain't what it was, so digital media, that's where it's at. So I was with it, and I was holding on. But damn it, I can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
I really can't. Because
I like the idea of bringing back a TV title. What I didn't like the name digital media title because that's such a corporate speak. Like nobody talks like that. Nobody says the word digital media unless they're like doing corporate speak. So I didn't like the name. I thought the belt itself was beautiful. But then when they introduced it, like they did an 8-man tournament and it was all like jabrones. For the most part.
Like I just don't get it, man. I really don't.
And that's the thing. That's why I was holding on to it because, all you said is true. But look at the lineage. Yeah. Look at the cats who held the belt.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. It did its part in that regard. But as far as how they present it and want us to care about it, it's just the ship sailed with me.
I think the struggle that I have when it comes to these titles. It's just we have 2 titles, one that I'm not really particularly a big fan of, and then we have the international title. And then I look at our roster, we have Hammerstone, we have Jake Something. The thing about TNA when it comes to booking talents and whatnot, I get the sense that when they have no idea what to do with the talents, they put them in tag teams because that's the easiest way to book talents is to put them in a tag team. But when I look at talents like Jake Something and Hammerstone, come on, man, you have an international title. Get these guys in the program.
Yeah.
To their defense, though, they've because you're right, they do just throw people together when they don't know. But to their defense, it's worked twice with AMW and Beer Money. So,
well, and it's worked with ABC as well.
Right.
But
come
they
on.
got thrown together. But I see what Nonso is saying, because we have these two titles that have been placed on PCO, and I think, hold on, Io always corrected my ass. Io's always keeping me in check in the chat. He said he defended against Shira. Okay, Io, don't get my. That was on the pre-show.
Oh, the monster. Yeah, Cardona had a monster form.
But I know what he's saying. Like, you could actually have full programs, like one around the digital. Like, if you wanted to have like a real championship,
right.
you can do like a real feud around that title, and then a separate feud around the international title. Like, there's no reason why Santana versus Moose is not for the international title.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, something like that. Like they're having a feud, but you could actually juice that up a little bit more and put a belt around it. Like, Moose loses the world title. Like, this used to happen in WCW all the time, where like Sting would, when he wasn't the world champion, he would be like the U.S. champion. You know what I mean? Or Lex Luger would be the U.S. champion, and he's like one of their top stars. You could, you know what I mean? Like, they could actually have it mean something, but I just don't think that this current booking committee knows how to do those things.
You know what's crazy though? Okay, yeah. Moose lost the title. Moose lost the TNA title at Slammiversary, right? PCO, I felt like Moose versus PCO would have been a good program.
Hell yeah.
Slammiversary. And Moose could have taken that international title off PCO. I wouldn't mind if PCO holds the digital media title, because it's all goofy. PCO is a goofy character. So, fine. Let's leave it that way. But at least the international title, you put it on Moose. Good. You now have a program with Moose and Santana for Bound for Glory, for the title. Now, I think that makes sense. But, gosh, man, putting the title on PCO, putting the international title and the digital media title on PCO, just such a mismatch, man. Like, it makes absolutely no sense. I felt like Moose versus PCO right after Slammiversary could have been a good program leading towards Bound for Glory. Could have been a good program where Moose could have taken the title right out of PCO, and then Moose and Santana for the title would have made sense for Bound for Glory. I think that's what should have happened.
No disrespect to PCO though, but like, it's almost like he kind of killed the belt a little bit, because before with AJ Francis with the DMC, that was perfect. That made sense. Right. Like, he could ride that, and he was defending it in other indie promotions and stuff like that. He was everywhere in digital media with the belt. That makes sense. Also, if Cardona takes it from him in Bound for Glory, that also saves the belt too. So it's kind of like, it's less the belt now, more PCO.
Yeah.
I was actually hoping that Cardona would at least take the international title off PCO and leave the digital media title with PCO, than competing for both belts at Bound for Glory. Because at least if Cardona takes that title off PCO, then we have a new champion for a different belt. Then that makes sense. We could have more programs. But I just, I don't get it, man. I really don't get the direction of creative, man.
Yeah. I have my issues with what they're doing, but hey, before I let you guys go, what do you guys and Nonso, whenever you're not talking, I'm gonna have to mute you because there's feedback on your end. So I'll let you know when I pull you back in, okay? So what do you guys think about, and I'm gonna go to Lucha first. What do you guys think about this whole menage a trois in the Bound for Glory main event with Joe Hendry, Kazarian, and Dolph Ziggler, aka Nick Nemeth? And then actually, if you think about it, kind of could turn into a foursome with JBL at some point. But what do you think about this whole convoluted storyline that they got going on in the main event?
I mean, I don't hate it like Dobby does. I know Dobby just gets sick at the thought of it happening. But like, they've kind of been putting Frankie slowly in this position for a little bit. I guess maybe because Frankie's not a sexy wrestler. You know what I'm saying? He's not a name that people are tripping over for. But Frankie Frankie can hold it down. It's not like he don't deserve to be in the spot. It's not like if Frankie wins the strap on some bullshit, I'll be mad because it's Frankie, he deserves that. But I just don't like it because why? Why we got to do it?
Yeah, it's they're just throwing a lot of shit. So what we should actually say, I'm sure the people that are listening to this know that Frankie is going to be in the main event with Joe Hendry and with Nick Nemeth as the special referee. He somehow got his way in there, and nobody knows how he got his way in there. And I think that storyline is going to play out this coming up week in the Go Home show. But he's also going to be in the Call Your Shot Gauntlet. So I think what the creative team is doing is they're just trying to create a level of anxiety around the main event to give you some doubt that Joe Hendry is going to win the championship. But I think in the end, Joe Hendry is going to come away with the belt.
They might Josh Alexander him, have him win it. Just do the same thing that happened to Josh when he beat Christian for the belt, and then Moose came cash in, and then you have the revenge tour.
Yeah.
But while that's dope, they just did that a couple years ago. You kind of got to like that shit.
Which is why I would be dead set against it. Now let me bring on Nonso. I have to mute Nonso while we're talking because he got feedback on his end. So Nonso, what do you think about this whole deal?
To be honest, I'm kind of 50-50 on it. I don't like it. I feel like for the main event, I just hate the idea of Kazarian being a special guest referee in the main event. It doesn't make any sense to me. I don't think the storyline was embedded for that to sort of happen. Strongly embedded for that to sort of happen. So it doesn't, part of that match just doesn't click with me. Now, on the other side, I'm a little bit optimistic. I want to have some optimism that, there could be a huge swerve that goes on in the main event where maybe Nick and Kazarian and JBO join forces and screw Hendry over for the title. I think that's the only logical way for that to sort of happen, for it to actually make sense in my book. But overall, I'm 50-50 on it. I'm just going to see how that goes. I feel like if it's something that goes south really, if it's something that goes south really fast, then, I'm not a big fan. But it's something I'm not sure that I want to overall judge just yet. I just want to just see how it goes. It's an interesting concept. I'm not sure I would have done that. I don't think I like it as much, but I'm pretty curious to see how that goes.
I'll say this as I'm getting a mysterious food delivery behind me.
Is someone doing a military low crawl on the floor there?
My sister was trying to.
She is not subtle at all, dude.
At all. But no, I'll say this though. I'll much rather Joe Hendry get his crowning moment versus a heel that's an actual heel versus this match of a face versus face type situation. It don't hit as hard if he would have got it from Nemeth. Yeah, it's at Bound for Glory, but there's no meat to the rivalry. So it'll hit a little harder if he gets the belt off Frankie. I'll say that.
I see what you're saying. I think Io has a good point. He says the reason why Frankie's involved, he goes, I think it's because the main event doesn't have a heel factor in it. And I actually think that's a good point, because that's been something that I was complaining about. It's like we got two guys who love each other and respect each other, and they're just going to have a fun little wrestling match for a belt, and that's fucking boring, right? That makes me want to go to sleep and makes me want to throw up. But now you add Frankie to the mix, and that adds, like I said, a level of anxiety around, are they finally going to crown Joe? We're going to throw some more obstacles in his path because he doesn't have a heel to overcome, and nobody's getting their comeuppance in the end. I do think that there's going to be a little bit of fuckery. I think JBL is going to get involved. I think Frankie's absolutely going to ref the match with the Call Your Shot Gauntlet trophy. I don't think he's cashing it in Bound for Glory. I would not do that. I would send the whole crowd home happy at Bound for Glory, because they just did that a couple years ago with Josh and Moose, and I was mad about it that night, but it ended up being great, right? I'll be the one to admit, like, okay, guys, you fucking worked me. I got worked, and that's what happened there. But I think ultimately he's gonna win the match, despite a little bit of fuckery. And the next program is gonna be Hendry and Frankie. I think Frankie's gonna maybe Frankie cashes it in on him, like on a TV taping or on a PLE, wins the title over some bullshit, and then they do the rematch because Frankie has the victory over him, right, at Against All Odds. He also made him look like a geek on his NXT debut, and then he actually did beat him on TV the other night, and then it got reversed. So Frankie is kind of up on him right now. So I do think that they have a little bit of juice for the match that they can do. So I think that there's still a storyline there that they can go to eventually with Frankie and Joe. I don't think that's a pay-per-view main event because I love Frankie. I think Frankie's great. I just don't think he's got enough juice to sell some pay-per-views, but I do think that it's something they can go to. All right, guys, I'm gonna let y'all go, and I'm gonna kick on to the rest of the show. Nonso, man, thank you for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem, man. Thanks for having me as always.
Yep. And then Lucha, happy birthday, my brother. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. And before I go, to whoever listened to the West Side Gun theme song for Slammiversary, when he said the bar word is I'm buying TNA, that's the rumor. I did not start that rumor.
Yeah, you're number one super fan of West Side Gun.
This is one of his joints. Shout out to the Road Warriors.
Hell yeah, man. That's a beautiful t-shirt. And shout out West Side Gun, he's got a show coming up in Chicago, and he's using all the TNA talent. And I think our boy Andre is going to be there in the house. So we'll be looking forward to hearing about what happens there. West Side Gun getting into the promotion space.
Joe Hendry 3.
Yeah. AJ Francis and Joe Hendry is the main event, right?
I gotta see. I don't know. It's either between that or Sammy and Nick Gage.
Okay.
I wonder if that's gonna get streamed anywhere. TNA Plus.
That'd be cool. I wouldn't mind if West Side Gun did buy into TNA. Like, I'm not saying like buy the company, but if he became like a minority owner, I think that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on, Luke. Hey, people are asking you questions now. Hold on. It's fucking Lucha Doncic show over here. Let's see. Io says, Lucha, you're gonna be in Fayetteville, right?
Yeah, they're both nights.
Okay, so you'll be our correspondent for the Fayetteville tapings.
For sure.
Okay, man. All right, well, happy birthday again, my brother, and have a good rest of your day.
Yes, sir. Y'all stay safe. Shouts out to Jeff.
Yep, shout out. All right, well, that was fun, man. I like to bring some of you guys on, and get your feel on what's going on in the world of TNA wrestling. And Nonso and Lucha have been on the show several times before, so I really appreciate those guys.